Hello everyone, welcome to day 27th of February Lead Code Challenge, and today's question is divide two integers. In this question you are given two integers, dividend and divisor. You need to divide the divisor by the dividend by the divisor and generate the quotient. Also you are not allowed to use multiplication, division or mod operation. You need to do this using the addition and subtraction operations only. Uh, so let's take a very simple example. Let's assume that you are given a divisor at 6 and dividend as 6 and divisor as 2. So if you add 2 3 times, you will get the dividend, which is 6 in your case, and the quotient becomes 3. This is what you need to return. So let's quickly understand the algorithm behind it, the logic behind it, and then we'll jump on to the coding part. Let me just take a pen, and I have taken a very simple example here where the question says you need to divide 120 by 2. So the dividend here is 120, the divisor here is 2. How will we go about it? We will try and solve it using the binary search kind of an approach. We'll not use linear search because it will be slightly over expensive in terms of time. A binary search kind of an approach would be faster for us. So we'll start with 2, and this is my quotient so far. So I'm keeping track of my quotient variable here, and 2 is less than 120. It's good. 4 is less. We'll double the value every time. So we'll double the value every time for both the quotient and the our comparing variable. So uh, for 2 is less than 120, well and good, double the value. 4 is, we get 4 and quotient becomes 2. We then have 8. 8 is less than 120, we double the value. Then we have 16. 16 is less than 120, we double the value. Then we have 32, we double the value. And then we have 64, we double the value. And 64 into 2 is 128, which is greater than that of the original dividend given to us. Therefore we can't double the value, we'll stop the process. And the quotient count becomes 32. So far we have got 32 quotient, plus what we will do, we have got 64 as a value. So we'll recalculate, we'll do the similar kind of a process for the remaining values, which would be 120 minus 64, which is nothing but 56. So let's start the process again, and we have stored the previous quotient somewhere as 32, and the problem reduces to 56 by 32. So we'll start the process. 2 is less than 56, 4 is less, double the value. 4 is less than 56, double the value. 8 is less than 56, double the value. 16 is less than 56, double the value. 32 is less than 56, double the value. 64 is not less than 56. We can't double the value, stop the process. Here again we'll do the repeat same thing. What will be the remainder left? 56 minus 32 is 24, and what is the quotient so far? Quotient is 16. So we have calculated two quotients, 16 and 32, and we'll do the same process for 24 divided by 2. That is in the next slide. So 24 by 2, we'll start the process. 2 is less than 24, 4 is less than 24, 8 is less than 24, 16 is less than 24, 32 is greater than 24, stop the process. So 16 is less than 24, we will break the process. What is the quotient? 8. So what we have from the previous slide, we have 32 plus 16, 32 plus 16, and now we have 8, 32 plus 16 plus 8, and what will be the remaining value? 24 minus 16 by 2, which is nothing but 6 by 2. So we have 6 here. Then let's start the process with 6 as dividend, assuming 6 as dividend. 2 is less than 6, 4 is less than 6, 8 is not less than 6. Stop the process, and once we stop the process, What is the quotient now? Quotient is 2 plus what is the remainder now? 6 minus 2 by 2, which is 2 by 2. So we'll start the entire process for the dividend 2, which will give us 1, and this will give us 1. So 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 32 plus 16 plus 8. So 32 plus 16 is 48, 48 plus 8 is 56, and 56 plus 3 is 59. Which mistake did I commit? Something is wrong. Oh, 24 minus 16 is 8. Sorry. So we get 8 here instead of 6, and 8 matches with this value. So this would be 4 instead of 3, and we have 60. So this is what we need to do primarily. So let's start the process, the coding aspect of it. So let's look at the coding part today. The problem is not very algorithmic extensive. However, you need to think about multiple corner cases, which is quite annoying and which I didn't like. So let's try and understand the coding part here. The crux of the problem lies in these 5-6 statements where you are actually performing the division operation in a binary search kind of a fashion. Not truly binary search, but binary search kind of a fashion. So let's try and understand this. So we have the dividend, we have the divisor. If my dividend happens to be less than the divisor, that's lower case, lower value of dividend over divisor, you return 0 upfront. Otherwise, we'll start with a count variable, and this is acting as a quotient, and this is acting as the comparable dividend, and if my twice of sum happens to be less than the dividend value, that means I still have scope of doubling that sum and increasing my quotient that I have calculated so far, and this is what I'll keep on doing till the time this condition doesn't breach. Once the condition breaches, I'll come out of the loop, and whatever my quotient so far is, I'll store that in a variable, and I'll do the similar kind of a processing on the remaining value, which is dividend minus the comparable dividend that we have calculated so far, and we will perform the operation again using the same divisor. I hope this part of the question is clear to you. Let me just explain the test cases part of the problem. Let's try and identify whether the answer would be negative or not. If my dividend is less than 0 and divisor is greater than 0, or my dividend is greater than 0 and my divisor is less than 0, that means my answer would be negative. I created a variable here and I updated it to true. Then I calculated the absolute values of the dividend under divisor so that I don't need to think of any negative or positive cases. If my divisor happens to be 0 or my divisor is less than my dividend, I return 0 from the process. Otherwise, I will calculate the quotient is stored in a variable count, and it will invoke the method return the value whatever the quotient has been calculated. If my quotient comes out to be equal to the possible integer value, which could be the case, I have to return the maximum integer value if my negative is false, and the minimum one if my negative is true. Similarly, I need to return the minus of count if my negative is true, and count map to integer if my negative is false. That's it. So pretty simple way, a lot of if else so as to handle multiple cases, not that tricky. Hope the code made sense to you and you enjoyed watching the video.